Hi, Dan Reagan here with ATSPicks.com, and this is your video report for January the 3rd. Okay, I got a bunch of free picks for you in the NBA tonight, plus I'm going to talk about the college football games tonight. It's a great game last night between Alabama and Oklahoma. Exciting game. I gave you the over and a free pick, and I also suggested you take Alabama, which was a bad call. Obviously, they were lacking for motivation, one might say. Um, but it was still an exciting game. I gave you a bunch of free pick winners in the NBA yesterday, and I won my teaser for 100 dimes yesterday. An easy winner between Portland and what was the other part? Golden State. I just had a feeling Golden State was going to win that game outright. They play Miami tough. Okay, so let's take a look at tonight with our bowl games we have. First game is Mizzou versus Oklahoma State. Um, I am going to suggest the line right now is at 61 and a half for the total in the Mizzou Oklahoma State, and I'm going to suggest that you take the over for this game. The reason, well, the game is played at Cowboy Stadium in Dallas, and it's on turf, and I love playing overs on turf. There's going to be tons of points scored in this game, I feel like. Both teams have good offenses. Missouri has that James Franklin. He's tearing it up right now. I could just see there easily being 60 points by the first half type of game, right? The line is at 2.5, -2.5 for Missouri. I like Missouri. I think there might be a little letdown because they were hoping to be in the national title game, but I think they're going to be pretty happy to be in that game. So I'm going to take Missouri. I think Missouri is the better team with the better quarterback, and you got to bet on the quarterbacks. So I'll take Missouri -2.5. But I especially like the over. If I was going to make one free pick today for football, it would be the over. That's my favorite bet on the college football scene of all the games. Both games is the over in that game. The next game we have who do we have? Ohio State versus Clemson. I think this is an interesting game. The line is at 71 and Ohio at -2.5 right now. Um, my picks for this game, just talking about it here, I'm going to take the under 71. I know people are betting on the over, but Clemson, the last couple games, they have a great offense, but they haven't been scoring a lot. They only scored 17 points against South Carolina. And you could say, well, South Carolina has a good defense, but if Clemson's so great on offense, why did they score more? They should be able to, do better against a good defense, right? Uh, Ohio State, they put up pretty good points. Then, they've been in the over the last couple games, but they only scored 21 against Michigan State or something like that. And, it's the same situation. If they're so great on offense, why didn't they score more? So, and the game is played on grass, which slows things down. Everybody knows that. So, yes, this game could easily go over, but I think it's going to go under. Clemson, when playing really good opponents, has not been that good, and they haven't been scoring that great. The line is at -2.5 now for Ohio State. Ohio State could be in a letdown situation. They were hoping to be playing for the national championship, and now they have to play for this. But they didn't get to play in a bowl game last year. So I think they'll be pretty excited just to be back in the BCS, back in a big bowl game. So I don't really see them being too much of a letdown in that scenario. So I'm going to take Ohio State. I think they should be able to beat Clemson by a couple touchdowns. I don't think Clemson's that great. Be honest with you, they were overrated all year. So do I love the pick? No, but I would, if I had to put money on it, I would put it on Ohio State, and I would put on the under. I'm not going to bet this game, but those are my picks for the game. Do as you will. Moving on to the NBA and your free picks today. Lots of interesting games in the NBA tonight. The first game I want to look at is Golden State versus Atlanta. I think this is an interesting game because Golden State, we know, had that big win last night in Miami. Perfect spot for a letdown game. It's like now you have to go to Atlanta. You just beat Miami by 20 points or whatever they did, and Now everybody's riding them, and they're going to be, on fire. But now they have to go to Atlanta, who's sitting there waiting for them. And I'm going to take Atlanta in the first half. The line, I believe, is +1.5 for Atlanta, or +2. I think it might be going up. And I think Atlanta's going to come out and play tough that first half, and they're going to win that first half of the game because I don't think Golden State's going to be as psyched or pumped for this game. They might win it in the end and then come back. They got a great team, but I think Atlanta's going to come out and give them all they could ask for in that first half. Okay, some other games. Most of my picks are first half games. Dallas against the Clippers. The Clippers are a better team than Dallas. And, Dallas is playing good. They won 3 in a row off a road trip, but that first game back can be kind of tough. But this game's kind of a toss-up to me. I think, it could go either way, but I like Dallas in the first half. I think they're going to come out and play tough. I think the Clippers are going to win this game. But I think Dallas start the first half, that's at +1.5 for Dallas. They just have to win the first half. And, the Clippers haven't been getting that great a start on the road. They've been much better at home than road teams. So I'm going to side with Dallas here. Do I love this game? No, but I think Dallas in the first half is a good bet. Other games, New York in the first half, +6. New York just took on San Antonio last night and got a big, much-needed win. Now they're going to Houston, who hasn't been playing that great. The line is at -11.5 the whole game, so the odds makers think Houston's going to have a comeback game, and they're going to kick the shit out of New York, and they probably will. But I think that first half, New York's going to hang with them. Make a game of it. It's a nationally televised game, so I'm going to take New York in the first half, +6, riding that momentum off that San Antonio win last night. They're going to feel good about it. I think they can hang within that number. The next game that I think is interesting is the LA Lakers, -3.5. It was at -4 for the whole game. The Lakers have lost like 7 games in a row, but they're favored now against Utah. We just beat them in Utah. It's a payback game. The Lakers are hungry for a win, and the odds makers think they're going to get a win. So I don't really like to argue with those guys. I think they're going to win, probably. I think that they're a safer bet, though, in the first half at -2 because, they might choke in the end. And we all know that bad teams are the worst in fourth quarters where there's pressure on them to do good and close the game out. Where the first half, there's going to be no pressure on them. So, I'll take the Lakers in the first half, -2 in that game. And I think they will probably win this game. They need a win. Got Utah coming to town. They just got blown up by Milwaukee. They're going to be a pretty good effort put in by the Lakers tonight. Another game that's interesting is Denver, -4 against Memphis. Memphis just played last night, beat a very good Phoenix team in Phoenix, playing good. Yet Denver is catching -4, and they've lost like 7 in a row. Odds makers think Denver is ready for a win, and I don't usually argue with the odds makers. They're pretty good. They know what they're doing. So it's another scenario. I would probably lean towards taking Denver in the first half, -2. You can't really trust them in the fourth quarter. Memphis might pull this out, but the first half, I think they're going to come out and try and make a statement that we're going to win this game and we're going to play tough. So I would take Denver in the first half. So Denver -2. And that's all I got for you today. I got another $5 play going tonight. It's a first half line. I'm all over the first halves today, I know. So buy my $5 play, and good luck, and I will talk to you tomorrow.